I just got back from a left-wing protest filled with Labour supporters, so I decided to take anti-Semitic things that Jeremy Corbyn had said or done and pretend that Boris Johnson had done them to film their real reaction. It was incredible. They were so critical, and then when I flipped the script and told them actually these were things that Jeremy Corbyn had done, you should have seen them stutter and squirm. Watch this video through to the end, you won't regret it.
Everyone's heard about anti-Semitism in the Labour Party.
Yes, indeed.
But no one's talking about anti-Semitism in the Conservative Party.
No.
Did you hear that Theresa May just unveiled a statue of Lady Astor, a known Nazi sympathiser?
Absolutely, yes, of course I did, yes.
I did.
And what do you think about that?
I think he's absolutely hilariously hypocritical.
So I'm going to now give a couple more examples. So Boris Johnson is on record, describing an author who described the Jews as a peculiar and ugly race that are behind every war in Europe and every movement of capital. He described that author as brilliant, if a little controversial in his time. Does that surprise you?
No, because they both seem to rewrite history as suits them.
Really not shocked at anything that man says, to be honest.
Well, nothing surprises me that Boris Johnson says, to be honest.
Yeah, this is stupid. That what I said is somebody stupid is stupid. I'm from Poland. Auschwitz is Poland. We know we have before Second World War few millions Polish Jews, and they Nazi kill everyone.
That's a bit harsh even for him to say that. Yeah, I'm quite surprised that he would say that. Yeah.
So another example would be Boris Johnson invited someone to Parliament that said that Jews drink the blood of Christian children. Not only did he invite this person to Parliament, Boris Johnson described them as an honoured citizen. Does that surprise you?
No, but damn.
Do you think someone who's saying things like inviting people like this is fit for office?
No, of course, yeah.
And so do you think people that are making these statements, like the ones I just shared, do you think they should be standing for office?
No, of course not.
No, not in the slightest, no.
Had that been in the Labour Party, they would be expected to resign or make a public statement and resign.
And I don't think he's fit for office.
Yeah.
No, he's not.
I don't think he's fit for office anyway. I think he's barely fit to play in a playpen, let's be honest.
So here's the twist. Everything except the statue was actually statements that Jeremy Corbyn's made.
Oh, was it really?
Now, do you still think somebody who makes those statements is fit for office?
No. No. I don't. Actually, no.
To be honest, I don't think he's strong enough. And I did say at the start, I did say that he should have took the Labour Party by the hand at the meeting and said, right, there's no place in this Labour Party for anti-Semitism.
But not that it's not strong enough. There was a book that described Jews as the peculiar and ugly race under a chapter called Economic Parasites. Yeah. Corbyn wrote the foreword to it and called it a great tome.
Well, what can I say? Yeah, I don't know that much about it, but the Jews have got a lot of power and a lot of money, haven't they? They do manipulate things. Power is money.
Well, the author is who?
J.A. Hobson.
Right, and
Jeremy Corbyn wrote the foreword, called it a great tome, called the book a great tome, and said the author was brilliant, if a little controversial in his time.
Right. And how long ago is this?
So the book was written over 100 years ago. Jeremy Corbyn wrote the foreword in 2011, I think.
Right, okay. So, would it be correct in me saying that he would have read the book if he wrote the foreword, but surely sometimes they can publish things after someone's written a foreword, possibly?
Yeah, but you would have had to got a time machine because the book was written over 100 years ago.
Yeah, but I'm not saying that. I'm saying that, they could have added bits into the book after. Possibly.
No, the book, we've got copies of the book that are very old. So that was definitely in the book when Corbyn wrote the foreword.
Is that the truth?
Yeah.
I mean, I still think vote Labour.
You know, I'm not having a pop. Look, to me, that's wrong.
I am quite shocked by that. Yeah.
You know, this is most of a lot of other things which we support the Corbyn. So, if it's true, what can I say?
But if you're an anti-fascist, surely you'd be against those statements.
You know, I have to have a bigger picture. I don't know these things. You know, I'm not interested. I'm not a focus on these things.
But as an anti-fascist, shouldn't you be focused on these things?
Oh man, I should be, as a big word and lot of things. I do what I can do.
And does it concern you that 50% of British Jews are thinking of leaving the country if he's elected? Half of British Jews are thinking of fleeing.
Where are they going to go? To Palestine?
I don't know where they're going to go. They're just scared of Jeremy Corbyn.
Why are they scared of him? Because they've got all these offshore accounts and they don't want to pay tax.
But 47% of Jews are thinking of fleeing the country if
Yeah,
he's
but
elected.
the Jews, they're always coming up with this stuff.
Yeah, so what are the Jews coming up with though?
They're coming up with all sorts, especially in the election time. That's where it hurts, and they know that. That's what they come out with.
And do you think the people that make these statements and endorse books that describe Jews as a peculiar and ugly race, do you think they should be standing in the general election?
No.
So here's the twist, with the exception of Lady Astor, every one of those comments was about the Labour Party. The book that was endorsed that described the Jews as a peculiar and ugly race was described as a great tome by Jeremy Corbyn. Does that surprise you?
Again, what you look for, you'll find. You know, what you're doing is conflating a comment about a particular individual and then adding that to something that this particular individual might have done at some point. I mean, you know.
But when it was Tory MPs, you thought they should stand down?
Well, yeah. Okay. I mean, I was trying to be. I mean, I don't accept what you're doing here, to be honest.
Jeremy
I don't want to be part of this interview.
Why?
Because I have no evidence, you give me no evidence.
I've given you the name, you can look it up, J.A. Hobson Imperialism.
Okay, but until
the other person's called Ra'id Saleh. So if what I'm saying is true, do you think Jeremy Corbyn is fit for office if he has said those things?
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay. Yes.
No.
I don't want to. Where is this going to be published?
On YouTube, I can give you a card if you want.
Can you not publish me, please?
Kind of 50% of British Jews are wanting to leave the country. 50% of British Jews are thinking of fleeing the UK. And we used to have allies on the left. And now when we expose anti-Semitism, people just run away and say that they don't want to be filmed, but they're quite happy when it's coming from the right. Why won't people stand with us when the anti-Semitism is coming from the left?